Durham, North Carolina is a magnet for cutting-edge industries, forward-thinking organizations, and top talent. It's home to Research Triangle Park, global corporations like IBM and Cisco, and a thriving startup scene. Visit meetdurham.com to learn how Durham's intellectual capital and innovative spirit can elevate your next event.
Are you a
10, 9, 8,
Okay, so we're gonna be
Welcome to GatherGeeks, a podcast by BizBash, the place where people passionate about meetings and events come together. Here are your hosts, BizBash CEO David Adler and Executive Editor Beth Kormanik.
Welcome, everybody, to GatherGeeks. Today, we're going to hear from Latoya Lewis, the executive director and founder of EnventU, which is a really fascinating organization that's doing great work to prepare the next generation of event industry leaders. David, I know you have a personal connection to this organization, and you were excited to be able to bring them to the attention of all of our listeners.
Yeah, I'm totally not objective in this particular endeavor because I think the idea is so fantastic. Let's listen to my interview with Latoya.
So we're here today with Latoya Lewis, who is the founder and executive director of EnventU, which is an organization that I'm holding very close to my heart because I am now the chairman of the organization.
Yes.
So this is a little bit of self-promotion in a good way.
Yes.
So I met
good.
Latoya a few years ago, and she came up to me with this idea. And I want her to express this idea to you who are listening so you can see how excited I was about it as well. So
Yes.
Latoya, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, David, for having me here. EnventU is a program that teaches underserved youth the event production industry. And so we introduce them through 2 career options available to them and ways that they can learn leadership skills and that they can learn professional development through all the different avenues available to them in the industry.
And so tell us where you are now and then what the vision is.
Yeah, so we're going to be 2 years old in June, and our vision is to continue to expand. We're based in Washington, D.C., so we want to expand to a couple more high schools in the area. We want to continue to impact our youth here locally, partnering with corporations and partnering with school districts to introduce their students to this industry that really has something for everyone.
So the elevator pitch of this is that we're going to be using event skills to teach leadership skills, because really when you run an event, it's kind of a military operation, right?
Absolutely.
And it is, and many of these kids are not even exposed to it at all.
Yes, and when you run an event, it's the definition of teamwork. You know, you have many moving parts coming together to make the collective experience. And so we're teaching these students to really explore passions that they didn't know they had, to really look inside themselves and see interests that they didn't know were there through an industry that, frankly, they don't know about. You know, a lot of us have fallen into this industry, and so what we're really trying to do is bridge the gap between the event professionals that are in the industry and the future of it that will eventually become professionals themselves.
So go dig into the program a little bit. What actually is the program?
So our program is very work-based learning. We're teaching kids the planning of the event. The core of our program lies in work-based learning. Our kids are in the classroom. They're learning the different elements of an event, whether it's catering, decor, lighting, audiovisual, event production, and they're inputting their ideas and they're inputting their thoughts, and then it all culminates to the production of a real-life event. So they have a client, just like we all do, and they have to make sure that their needs are met. And so under the guidance of industry professionals and under the mentorship of these leaders, we are able to walk them through from A to B or A to Z the event production process.
And so tell us a little bit about the live experience that they've had, some of the events that you've actually done.
Yeah, so we have had the pleasure to do events as diverse as the industry that we are in. We have done holiday reception events. We've done a 3,500 seated concert. We've also looked forward to a spring gala that we're producing. And we also look forward to an outdoor concert. So we've really had events that run the gamut, and will continue to do so.
And what are some of the reactions of the kids from before and after?
Yeah, you know, our kids, it's amazing to see the growth that this program has instilled in them. They are so shocked that this industry is out there. They're surprised with all of the different avenues and career paths available to them. And they really enjoy seeing their hard work come to fruition in this tangible product. So it's been amazing. We've seen our kids, they'll go back into the classroom and they'll start taking leadership roles with their peers. They'll start teaching them things that they learned. And it really goes to show that this has a very profound impact on a youth at a very critical age.
And how have you seen the light bulb go off? Like, have you actually seen the light bulb go off?
Yeah,
Tell us the moment.
I have seen the light bulb go off on a few different times. I mean, I had a child, or I should say a teen, because they would hate if I called them that, that designed event signage for a reception. And they were able to dive into a creative side that's not, something that they typically explore. And in the production of that signage, and I bring it on site, and he's so surprised. He's like, "Oh, Miss Toya, you did it." And I said, "No, you did it. Like, you created this." And he was so proud. He showed his mom. He was beaming with pride. And he actually took the sign home and put it in his room. So that was a very real aha moment for me, that this is impactful to our kids where they need it.
So if they haven't heard of the industry and they hear about this program, what attracts them to sign up?
Yeah, we have been lucky to partner with hospitality academies within the public school system, which dibbles a little in the event industry, but not nearly as expansive as we are. And so they do have, the seed is kind of planted, but they have no idea the forest that is in front of them. And so through partnerships with our public school system, we've really been able to put this program in front of kids that it makes sense.
So what is it like, though, when you bring a class and they're going to an event and seeing a lifestyle that they've never even seen? Is it interesting to sort of watch their eyes widen?
It's amazing. I mean, I've been an event professional for over 10 years now, and I'm getting to experience the industry in a new way through their eyes because, again, there's so many moving parts and there's so many dynamics, and they're completely in awe because we're bringing them outside of their community in places that they've never been, and they're able to see this world and interact with people that they don't normally. So it's been great to watch our kids really be impacted by this program. And not only our kids, it's been awesome to watch the industry professionals be impacted. I mean, most of us fell into this industry. We didn't know we would end up in it. And when they see, me bring the kids, they're like, "I wish this program was there when I was coming up, and how can I support?" What's
interesting is that the industry is trying to get new blood into the industry. Yeah. And they've been focusing on the college side.
Yes.
But it looks like you got to get them almost at this side at the when they're in high school.
Yeah.
Because it hits them. Everybody that I've talked to, when it hits them in high school, their careers are almost set for life in terms of this skill set.
Right. Absolutely. I think we have to get them younger to really give them an opportunity to explore this, to see if it could be an interest to them. And beyond that, we really have a responsibility, I think, as a society to provide our youth with opportunities that don't just include college, because it's not a reality for everyone. But our industry has opportunities for them to work their way up through a career path that doesn't necessarily include college. So when we get them younger, we're able to tap into talent that no one's looking at and maybe foster the next generation.
Okay, so let's talk about the vision. What's the future of this project?
How big do you want me to go? I see EnventU being a nationwide project and even global. I mean, you said it and I believe it. This is a global industry and there is a need to pour into the future of it. And there's nothing that exists like EnventU currently. And so I want to take this as big and as far as we can.
So the idea is if a high school is interested in wanting to add this program,
yes,
they will contact EnventU and we can actually give them a prototype information. We're not quite there yet, but the vision is
to get there. The vision is to give them, this is EnventU in your school. This is what you do. This is our curriculum. This is what's needed. And they implement it in their school. And that's definitely the vision.
And the idea is how many kids in a school would be impacted by this? How many classes, currently, how many kids are involved?
Currently, we impact 3 classes per school. And we are just getting ready to go into our 3rd school. And so we're looking at impacting 150 students. And we haven't been around 2 years yet. So there is the need there.
And there's classroom learning, and then there's experiential learning.
Yes, there's classroom learning, there's work-based learning, and then there's field trips where they're able to go and volunteer. Volunteering is a big deal for me. Clearly, I'm philanthropic, and I think we have a responsibility to teach our kids philanthropy and how to give back. So we make sure our kids give back along with the work-based learning opportunities and the in-classroom.
And what about the internship program?
Our internship program takes place during the summer, and we are very blessed to have great interest from many different partners across many different areas along the industry. And so we'll start with the catering partner this summer. We'll put our kids in various events where they'll learn, wait staff and how to carry a tray and how to season food and all the things that you learn in the catering environment. We'll definitely do our paid internship program, which is always, appealing to our kids, and we'll grow from there. We'll grow from there.
One of the reasons that I love this program is because it really does give people a sampling of what the industry is like.
Yes.
And one of the things that I would like to see, hopefully we can make it there, is that every high school in America has a prom, has a graduation ceremony, and what I call a maker's fair or a trade show, because they have the gym already, they have the labor, and events are kind of the new media.
Absolutely.
And so we think that there could be an opportunity here to teach the trade show business to a lot of kids and make them appreciate it before they even get out of high school, because they're doing it. These makers fairs are very popular. They can show off all the things that happen in their school during the year. They can use it to market different things in the school.
Absolutely.
And we feel that this could be one of the initiatives.
Absolutely. I mean, the Makers Fair is a really great idea because our school districts are looking for higher level events, beyond the events that they've put on. And as EnventU, we bring to them that professional level of expertise that elevates their events. And one thing I'm always certain to tell people is that even though the name is EnventU, we cater to every aspect of the industry. So it is about trade shows. It's about meetings. It's about expos and conferences in addition to events. And so we want to make sure that our curriculum is reflective of that and that we showcase each area of the industry, because it really is a vast industry. And trade shows in particular are million and billion dollar industries.
Well, I call that everything's now paired together in different ways. Galas have trade shows, and concerts have meetings, and meetings have all these other things that are mixed together.
Absolutely.
So everything is all mixed together. The name.
Yes.
EnventU.
EnventU.
Can you go through the thinking on why you are calling it this?
Yes. So clearly I wanted the play on the word event. And then I just look at the event industry and what it's done for me. And it's really been a place where I've invented myself. I've really developed into the woman that I am. I think that there are tons of opportunity for people to explore different parts of themselves. And so EnventU, invent yourself through events, is the thought behind that.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's tell everyone how we can get a hold of you.
Yes.
If they want to get involved in this program, they want to give money to the program, which we don't have any problem taking.
We have no problem with that.
We do need support.
Yes.
This is an event-driven, event industry-driven project.
Yes.
So we are actively out soliciting money. Anything that you can give your employees, any programs they want to do. Yeah. I've adopted it as our company charity.
Love it.
EnventU.
Yes.
And it people love it in our own organization.
Yes.
So how do we get in touch with you, Latoya?
Yes, this is an industry organization, and I want everyone to be a part of fostering that next generation. And so you can go on our website, EnventU.org, that's ENVENT, the letter U.org, and find my contact information on there. Shoot me an email. I respond to everyone at this time. And you can also take a look at what we're doing. There's tons of pictures and videos, and we're very proud of the work that we've done to date, but we know that there's tons more to do. So definitely check us out and support in any way you can. No amount is too small.
And we're in the beginning.
Yes.
We're just in the beginning.
We're babies
I
still.
cannot believe what this will be in 10 years.
Yes.
We're looking forward to the future.
I am very excited.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
David, this is interesting because high school students, there already are event planners to a certain extent. They don't call it that, but they're planning proms and dances. They are, planning all manner of fundraisers. They're arranging speakers. They're even, bringing concerts to their campuses. But, this formalizes the education and offers that mentorship component, which I think is really taking this to the next level.
Yeah, no, it's so interesting that every time I've done an interview with an event organizer, they go back to their high school experiences. Andre Wells, who is a designer in Washington, talks about how he basically became his student body president because of that. And it happens over and over again that the really smart people in high school understand the power of events very early.
Right, absolutely. And they're kind of what you like to call the hidden planners.
Yeah, they're hidden. They have a clue.
Right, they don't realize they're doing it, but they are. And I think it's a step forward for the industry to recognize that early on and to give it a name for them.
Yeah, the other piece is that with organizations like the Society of Independent Show Organizers and IAEE, which is another association for exhibition companies, that we need to start training people earlier to get into this industry. People love being in this industry, but they don't discover it till after they're out of college and they take their first job. If they were actually experiencing it as a high school student, they'd have a better appreciation. So Beth, tell us what's going on at BizBash.
We are so excited to be publishing our first edition of the BizBash Best, which is the reimagined national venue and supplier guide. You will find venues for your events in 17 cities across the United States. We are also thrilled to be releasing our first ever supplement to this guide, and we're focusing on downtown Manhattan, which is such an exciting place. David, I know you know much is happening down here. Both of them are coming out now. And so look for those either in your mailbox. This is a real magazine that you can hold in your hand. Paper. However, we also have digital versions, of course. So we're thrilled to be producing that this year and keep an eye out for that.
Let me thank everybody for listening today. We love what we do at the GatherGeeks podcast.
And we'd just like to thank you for listening and hope you'll join us for the next edition of GatherGeeks.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcast app. We can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Player FM, Google Play, and Pocket Cast. Be sure to leave us a rating and review. It helps others discover the GatherGeeks podcast. We'd also love to hear from you. You can leave feedback on Twitter at GatherGeeks or leave us an email, gathergeeks@bizbash.com. We hope you'll join us again for the next episode of GatherGeeks. Until then, gather on. Durham, North Carolina is a magnet for cutting-edge industries, forward-thinking organizations, and top talent. It's home to Research Triangle Park, global corporations like IBM and Cisco, and a thriving startup scene. Visit meetdurham.com to learn how Durham's intellectual capital and innovative spirit can elevate your next event.